get to move and being comfortable in knowing that whatever I know right now will be obsolete in the next few years, and I have to keep up. So that is success to me. I have to adjust to the environment. And that is my definition of success currently.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of our Success in Dubai show. Our goal on this show is to bring to you the people and the experiences that will help you to achieve your goal while living in Dubai. Joining us today is the Managing Director of TEDCO Consulting, and she is also the founder and president of the African Collaboration Chamber. She has been in the field of energy for many years, and today she is here to share her story and insight on how we can make the world a better place by leveraging on the energy sector. Please help me welcome the lady that believes that everything is energy, Miss Asha Amani. Amani, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Asha, for having me. How are you feeling today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good, thank you.
Great. First of all, thank you so much for coming. It's a beautiful morning, and you could be anywhere in the world doing some personal stuff, but you decided just to come have a conversation. So I'm really grateful, and I want to say thank you. So I always like by letting people know a little bit about you. Let's say who was Amani a few years ago?
It depends on what you call few. However, before coming to Dubai, I could say I was in a factory.
All right.
Maintaining machines, operating machines, doing annual overhaul for fast-moving consumer goods. That was the last assignment was mass rig confectionery. They do Skittles, Orbit, your chewing gum. So I think most of my younger years, I just knew engineering, and this is what I prospered in. And seeing a machine break down, putting it back together to life and going on with the production, that was Amani a few years ago.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
So before you got into that field where you were like maintaining machine, how was like your really younger years? How was it like before you moved into this working space, this adult space?
It's a long story, Asha. However, I'll make it as short as possible because I don't know how much time we do have here. But growing up as a young kid, it was not very easy for me. But then I learned very quickly that I needed to have negotiation skills at a very, very young age. So be it my primary school, I had to negotiate my way up not to be sent home because I don't have school fees.
Okay.
Be it secondary school, I had to negotiate with the teachers. I did barter trade. I told the teachers, look, I want to remain in school. However, can I take care of your kids during school break so that it equates to my school fees?
Oh, really?
Yes. So that's how I can, you can understand where I'm coming from.
I can understand.
And then, of course, in college as well, I wanted to really further my studies. I knew I really loved education, and I knew this is my way of getting out of the situations that I was in. And in college as well, I had to negotiate my way. The government was offering scholarships to female engineers, and there were so many applications, 3,000 applications. Amani's application was among the 3,000 applications, and they really, really wanted 25 people. Yes, so you can imagine how much I negotiated my way around that. And this is how I went through college engineering. The school right now is called Technical University of Kenya. But before that, when I was studying there, it was the Kenya Polytechnic. It was the best in engineering. And I had a reason as to why I wanted to go there, because the chances of us getting employed as engineers would have been higher because the school was graded as the best in engineering. So you can see through my younger years, negotiate, right? Up until after school again, my first job was to build a refinery and it was a toilet soap plant refinery. And I remember I was the one girl among 200 men in the factory to build that. It was very interesting.
1 in 200.
Yes.
This is wonderful.
So we were wearing overalls, and up until I speak to you, you wouldn't notice me. We're just a bunch of people going into the factory and out. But it was really fun. I saw a lot. I learned a lot from the men around me. I learned a lot from the experience of building a factory up. And it built me to become what I am right now, the resilience, the open-mindedness, the working with people from all sectors. You can imagine 200 people. They're not from the same village, of course. So it was a good experience. And then the background made me get to a job that I really liked at Coca-Cola, and then Mass Wrigley Confectionery. And that was when I stopped being in the machines, with the machines.
All right. So coming this far, and one question that I always ask everyone that comes on the podcast is like, what is their definition of success? And you coming this far from this place of, let's say, nothing to building up yourself and building up many things to where you are right now, what would you say is success?
Oh, success keeps changing. Let's start there. Previously, when I was going through whatever it is that I was going through, success to me meant that I had food on the table and a place to sleep and I'm comfortable. However, 2-3 years ago, my success was not to be worried about what I have to offer to the world, because I have done the work, I have learned, and I know my value that I could bring to the world. This is success to me. And now it keeps changing, because I'm defining success as, now that I've been able to know what I can offer to the world, am I comfortable enough to challenge my own vision as well? Because as the world changes, things change, situation changes, and I cannot stay with the same vision while the world is going east and I'm staying with a vision that will lead me west. So success to me means that I'm comfortable in making decisions whereby I know I have challenged my own vision, I have introspected, and I know, Amani, you're not doing all right here, you need to change, the world is moving on the other side. Get to move, and being comfortable in knowing that whatever I know right now will be obsolete in the next few years, and I have to keep up. So that is success to me. I have to adjust to the environment. And that is my definition of success currently.
And that is interesting. Yeah. So for you, success means adapting to change.
Yes, absolutely. Wow.
Yes. That is beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I'm really amazed at the different definitions that I get and on this particular topic, success. Because when I started, people like, I mean, they thought I'm going to bring in maybe Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg.
Exactly.
Like they're just focusing on the financial part of success. But I've been doing the show for a couple of times now. And I've realized that everyone have in their mind what they think success is, and like you said, it keeps changing. Like it keeps moving from one level to another. Now let's get back into your story. Coming from, because now you're in the space of energy, and coming from that engineering background, what really inspired you to say, look, this is the next level of change. Like, I want to get into this industry. What was your inspiration back then?
I have met a lot of young people that will think energy is meant for the elite, right? And this is also what I, as a young person in Kenya growing up, I knew the energy sector is for the politicians, for only the people with the money, because you could see the caliber of people. But then as you're going through the industry, you realize it is the mindset, it is the value that you can bring to any industry that can contain you in the industry, or the industry can push you out. So I grew more curious about the energy industry to understand what else, what is the value chain, because it's not just the power that we see. There's so much that goes into the industry to make the industry whole. It needs the financiers, it needs the administration, it needs the lawyers, it needs the engineers. So it's not just the engineers that make the whole energy industries, but it's a whole encompassing where everybody can play a part. And this made me see that I have a part to play in the energy industry, and especially being an African, where we've been disadvantaged for a long time for many, many reasons. People define those reasons differently. I have my own definition of why we've been disadvantaged. But then, can I do something about it? Like I said, I'm changing my environments. I'm adapting to change to understand, okay, 20 years ago, Africa as a continent was disadvantaged. But now, what I know, where I am right now in the UAE, and I've learned a lot with the UAE pillars of success as well. So with what I know right now, what can I do to bring value to the energy industry? And this is where I felt I'm most comfortable, because I did the work to understand what the energy industry needs. I did the work to make sure that I also can add value to the industry. But then, are there other people that are afraid of the energy industry because they think, oh, maybe it's just for a select few to the industry? And this gives me a purpose to be here so that I can also share this with other people and ensure that I can bring the value that I see and make sure all the projects that I'm taking part in are impactful to the communities that I want to impact. And not just in Kenya. It cuts across African continent, because once Egypt, once Ethiopia, once South Africa is electrified, has energy security, the whole continent has energy security. Yeah.
I mean, I love your story, honestly.
Thank you.
So what I'm just catching from all what you said is that you joined the industry. What inspired you to join the industry is the fact that you wanted to challenge yourself, because you saw that the industry was made for a group of people.
Yeah.
So it was like, I want to get in that industry.
Yes.
So that is what really like gave you that drive to be like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
I remember a friend of mine, she's a local lady. She asked me, Amani, you really like the difficult things. When it's difficult, that's where we want to go. Like, yeah, exactly.
You like what is difficult.
Yes. And I've learned that nothing is impossible through my journey. The things that seemed extremely unreachable, I get there and I'm thinking, how did I end up here? So it has changed my mindset to say, absolutely nothing. You send me to the president today, I will go. Then I'll figure out what I need to tell him later.
You'll go and then you figure out what you need to tell him.
Yes.
I mean, that is good. Let's talk a little bit about TEDCO. Like, how did you end up in TEDCO? How did you end up like the managing director of TEDCO?
Good story. I'm full of good stories.
You're
So
full of good stories.
2022, I resigned from a job that I was employed in 2019. And the reason why I resigned is just that we were good friends with the directors. And I think we had outgrown each other. My brain is always wanting to do more, to see what is the current situation and adapt to it, right? However, my directors have been in the industry for quite a while, and they have a certain way of doing things. And I saw that there's so many opportunities for me to be able to take part in them and impact people directly, and especially in the African continent. However, my directors have a certain way of doing things, and they've been doing that for 30 years. They want it like that for the next 30 years. My wiring is not the same. So in 2022, I had to discuss with them and say, look, love you but leave you, because I have a mission to accomplish on the other side. And then the directors were like, could we discuss this? Because I was very good at my job. I like when I'm at something, there's no middle. It's either I don't do it or I do it very well.
Very well, yeah.
Right? So we discussed around it, and they wanted me to still support them in a few things. So this is where TEDCO was born. It's like, it's okay, I can support you, but not as an employee, but as a consultant. This meant that I should register my own company, and then your contract will be between the company and the company, not directly Amani. Okay? And it's just audacity, to be very honest with you. It's like, what am I even thinking, you know? It was audacity, but also audacity anchored on a mission, on a vision, not, you know, aimless. And I threw it up and I told them, think about it. Then you will tell me what you think tomorrow, the next day, 1 week, 3 weeks, 1 year. Take your time. It's fine. The next day, they called me. Can we have a meeting again? Yes, we agree with your proposal. And Asha, I can tell you, ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. So that was what it was agreed. And I formed TEDCO Consulting. We did a contract between my company and their company. So managing them, their company on retainer basis under the power of attorney. And fast forward 2025, here we are, and still doing the same thing. But then I think I felt like I cannot serve two masters. When I wanted TEDCO to grow, I knew what TEDCO would do to people, to young people here in the UAE, in Africa. I knew what exactly I wanted to do, and I'm not getting any younger, Archer. I'm not getting any younger, so I needed to make very fast decisions. So early this year, I went back to the directors again, and I said, look, remember that contract between TEDCO and your company? Let's end it again. So they were surprised why, but I had outgrown them. And I knew for me to be able to be impactful and make sure that all the things that I wanted to accomplish are accomplished, I needed to make this decision. And because the directors are still my friends, there's that obligation of where does the friendship end? Yeah. Where does the impactful projects start, right? I had to make a decision. So they still remain my friends, but in terms of business relationship, I knew I had to focus on TEDCO Consulting so that I can accomplish the mission that I'm here for.
I mean, that is interesting. Now, I'm just curious a little bit. Now, when you decided to start TEDCO, was it born from a place of, okay, now these people need my services and I have to offer it in a different way? I mean, that's actually a different mindset, because if you're working for a company and they need your services and you say you want to leave and they are willing to increase to whatever you want, I mean, it's easy to say, okay, increase to this or increase to that. But did you already have a plan, and did you already think about it? Like, I want to start something. So when this conversation was happening, you were like, okay, it should be between this and this, or you were like, I think it's time for me to start something. Like, where was that? Like, I'm just trying to figure out, how did you make that decision at that particular moment?
I like this question very much because I've always told my friends, be so good at what you do, they cannot ignore you. And this is how we ended up. 2019, I get into the energy industry. 2022, I resign, right? So 2019, half 2020, 2021, 2022, I think around August. So a total of 3 years. I did a lot of work within the 3 years. I had to study the whole energy industry to understand what value can I bring, right? And not just what value how good am I at bringing that value? So that was the pre-work before resigning. And I was so good at what I was doing. This is where I knew at some point, even if I resign from this company, they will still need me to do something for them. So I was very confident. The timing was off because I've learned that there's no right time to do anything. Absolutely. Yes, there's no right time to do anything. You just start. But I knew the work that I had done, they needed my services at that particular time. And I also saw the network that I had formed. What exactly did they need, these people? So I said, if I'm able to offer this services to also these other people that they're seeking, this already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are my clients plus my current employer. So around 6 clients already while I'm still with them. So it was not an aimless resignation, even though at that particular time, did I know there was a little bit of trigger to
start
resign,
something.
to start something, but it was a plan at the back of my head. I knew what I could be able to do. I knew what people wanted. I listened to people around me while interacting with them as suppliers, as clients. I knew what exactly they wanted, and so getting to the decision of forming Tetco Consulting, I knew that there will be something for Tetco Consulting, and I'll be part of something bigger in the next 3-4 years. So don't go resigning aimlessly.
Because I'm just like thinking I have to quit my job today.
Yeah.
No, but that was interesting. I mean, I honestly like that mindset. It's thinking bigger than where you are, thinking bigger than the immediate opportunities that are being offered to you.
Yeah.
And I think if everyone thinks that way, I mean, we can get to somewhere. And one more thing that I'm really curious now, because I mean, I've known you for a while, and I've noticed you travel a lot, and
Collecting miles.
and I'm just curious, how do you manage with your traveling and still manage the company properly and still deliver results? Like, because I noticed you travel a lot. I'm like, how can Amani travel all these countries and she's still delivering at Tetco as the managing director?
There's always a saying that don't believe everything on Instagram. Right? Because I do a lot of work. So at Tetco Consulting, I don't need necessarily to be a 9 to 5. When work needs to be done, even if it's at 3 a.m, I will do it. That knowing that at some point I'll need an off to get it done. So if I have a proposal to give, I will work until it's finished within a period of time. So, and I think this is why Tetco was born also, so that I can have the freedom of when the client needs me, I'll be there. And then when it's time for me to rest, because also rest as a founder, as an entrepreneur is really important. This is where you get to rejuvenate as well. So the advantage is most of the services I provide you can do it remotely, and actually most of my team are remote as well. So it is just understanding what needs to be done, the timeline that needs to be done, and ensuring that it's actually done within the timeline. And then allowing yourself for a week to go to Sri Lanka, to relax. Some of the travels, of course, they're business related because, like I said, I'm on a mission to ensure that I understand what the African continent needs, the perspective of Ghanaians, the perspective of Kenyans, the perspective of South Africans. This is why exactly I travel also. And I cannot call it time management because I don't think I'm a good time manager. That just put it out there. However, it's understanding what needs to be done. What will that mean to the client? How important is this thing for the client, and ensuring that you deliver within the timeline. So with that, it allows me to go freely, understanding that I don't have something at the back of my mind that I haven't delivered to a client. So I can go and relax and enjoy and collect the points as well.
I mean, that is interesting. So before you go on a trip, you make sure all the results have been delivered.
Yes.
I mean, that is interesting. And you also said something, I mean, in your story, one of the things that I picked when you were showing about energy, you said one of the reasons you wanted to get into the industry is because you wanted to give the younger generation the opportunity to see that the industry is not only for the elite. Like, what are you doing right now? Now that you're in the industry, what are you doing right now to bring that dream to pass? Because it was like a dream a few years ago, right?
Listen, I have a lot of mentees, some that I know, some that I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I realized that because the messages that I receive as well on my WhatsApp or on my LinkedIn, on my Instagram. Firstly, what I do is being present. This inspires young people to know. I know I'm not as young. I look a little bit younger, but I'm not as young. I think the good thing is in Kenya, they define youth as under, maybe it changed, but within the limit. I'm still within the limit,
Yeah.
as a young person. So being present, showing up and doing a good job, this in itself is an inspiration to younger people that if you put in the work, the doors will open for you. Now, there are people who are interested and really want me to have one-to-one with them, to tell them, to guide them. So I mentor a few young people, South Africa, Kenya, Ghana. I have young people around me, and we have these conversations around what can you do? What is the skill set that you do have within yourself? Because you do not need to be an engineer to be in the energy industry. You can be an accountant, you can be an administration, you can be a lawyer, you can be a facilities management, personnel, and all of that. So first we debunk the fact that you need to be an engineer to be in the energy industry. So the people around me I have mentored, we do monthly meetups. I've been lazy for the last 3-4 months because of the traveling, of course. But we do monthly meetups with younger people as well to talk about the energy landscape in Africa. Because once they see young people talking about energy, they're like, oh, that looks like me. I get curious to know what's happening in the energy industry. So I think the being present for me is a very important thing. And I stand as a role model to people that know me and also people that do not know me. So my being present ensures that a young girl in whatever community in a developing, and it doesn't necessarily need to be Africa alone, any developing world whereby the energy access is not necessarily up to the standard that needs to be right now, they need to look up to me and say, the energy industry is not just for the elite. I didn't have a lot of money to get into the energy industry. So that and a few mentorships here and there, and I speak to other companies as well to open up opportunities for younger people. So these are the ground things that we don't showcase, but it happens on the ground, yes.
I mean, that is interesting. That is wonderful. Now, let's talk about the African Collaboration Chamber. Like, what is it and what really inspired you to start this organization?
Through the journey in the energy industry, I thought my skill set is engineering. And then, of course, I did business administration and leadership and management. So this means this is just the confinement of what I can do to the energy industry. And I thought about it. It needs lawyers, it needs process engineers, it needs mechanical engineers, it needs civil engineers. How do we get younger people who are just starting up, entrepreneurs or small, medium enterprises, to have a whole team in place to do the projects that are in the energy industry? Because for big companies like the ADNOC, Total, they have a whole team, right? But for small, medium enterprises, they might just have an engineer and an administration. So the collaboration chamber came about because what if we combined our skill sets? We say, look, Asha, you're a civil engineer, as an example. You're tendering for a project, maybe say in Nigeria, where you need an electrical engineer, you need a process engineer, you need a lawyer. The collaboration chamber allows you to tap into the network of people within the chamber to support your project. Because not many people have this money to bring a whole team all at once. But you also need to take part in the projects so that you can learn and grow and grow. So this was just my idea of how do we make this happen? I don't have a whole full skill set. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an accountant. But how do I get that to me? So the collaboration chamber, I spoke to a few people that I knew first, and say, look, I can become your business development in your company because they are still in the energy industry. Then him can become a financial advisor to my company. I can become an engineering advisor to another person's company, but within the same forum, right? So it started as a WhatsApp group. We were helping each other, and we did a lot of projects actually.
Oh, really?
Yes, we did a lot of projects. We supported people to make proposals because I am skilled at making proposals. Some of my friends didn't know how to do energy proposals, so I supported them free of charge, of course, at that particular time, free of charge, because I know in the time that I need financial advice, this person will come and advise me on how the modeling of this project is. So we started as a WhatsApp group, and it grew bigger than myself. It grew because there were people who wanted to support, and now we had to institutionalize it as Africa Collaboration Chamber, because we'll be working with other institutions to bring opportunities to young entrepreneurs in Africa and other developing world, of course, but the focus is Africa right now. So I thought to myself, how do we get technical partners from abroad to partner with young entrepreneurs to carry out projects? Because remember, in the emerging world of, let's say, LNG or natural gas, these young entrepreneurs don't understand the full scope of LNG, right? But there are other companies from, let's say, UK, Turkey, UAE. They have proprietary technology. But then this person needs to understand what he's looking for. So that's where the chamber comes. This person will say, this is the opportunity in my country, say Namibia. We say, okay, we have a company from UAE, has the proprietary technology. Can you partner with them? And then we enable that business-to-business relationship so that they can tender for the project, they can deliver the project. There's exchange of knowledge, there's exchange of expertise, and it's a win-win situation there. The local entrepreneur brings in the local content part of it. The international company brings the expertise, and it's a win-win situation. So Africa Collaboration Chamber is growing, and we see it being very instrumental in playing a role of changing the narrative of the energy landscape in Africa, enabling people to participate in the energy landscape. And it's not just energy. We've focused more on infrastructure and finance because we saw the connection between the three industries, infrastructure, energy, and finance, because you can have a very good project, but if you don't have the finance, it will just still be nothing. So we combine these three industries because we feel that this is the backbone of progress in any country and any continent as a whole.
I mean, that is interesting.